Folks, hashtag one call, Greg.
Bill Brown Sales.
Wow, one call does it all. America's foremost manufacturing rep.
Right, 60 plus years in the business.
Woo.
They can do everything you need them to do.
Go to BillBrownSales.com, baby. That's BillBrownSales.com. Remember, one call does it all, folks. We're here with Robert Solar of BIOS Lighting.
Hey, guys.
Welcome. Welcome to the Strategies in Light
Hello,
live stream.
everyone.
Yeah,
Hello,
You're
everyone.
live on the internet. So we came across BIOS first through one of our, I guess, real friends of the show and original sponsors. Kurtzon is a customer.
Oh, okay.
Of you guys.
Yep, that's right.
And we just did a product placement with Andrew Koch talking about BIOS in a recent podcast. I guess tell us who you are, what your role is, and what's different about BIOS.
Yeah, so I'm one of the founders. I run the product development for the company, and we're kind of a NASA spinoff. So I worked at Kennedy Space Center. I helped put the first LED light on International Space Station, then put the circadian lighting on International Space Station to help astronauts synchronize to a 24-hour cycle when they orbit the Earth every 90 minutes and all that stuff. So gets their circadian rhythm out of sync. We created something that basically puts them back in on 24-hour cycle and helps them shift to different time zones all the time. And then I founded it with a co-founder and a plant physiologist from NASA as well. And so his role was doing stuff for Mars exploration and colonization, being able to grow plants and sustain life. And so we're kind of a biology first company. So we've created lighting systems based on biology. So the difference between BIOS is that we're really geared on the biology and what we're trying to do. So from a circadian standpoint, we're pinpointing the biology that drives the circadian rhythms, as opposed to using maybe color tuning or something. We're spectrally optimizing it to pinpoint the photoreceptor that's driving it. On the plant side, we're looking at the photoreceptors, chlorophylls, and different ways to use spectrum to elicit different plant responses. So whether it be changing your anthocyanin production, which is important for nutritional value, or things. If you're doing stuff for cannabis, then it could change
It's like
some different values.
Poop at the dinner table. I have 4 kids. I can't get through a dinner without someone saying poop.
Yeah.
It's like we can't get through a conversation about lighting without someone saying cannabis.
Okay.
It's one of those words.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's also for cannabis. So you guys are using the science of lighting to solve the circadian problems and grow plants better.
Yeah, and those are two sides of the company. So on the plant grow side, we actually make full fixtures, and we sell to growers directly. On the human circadian side, we said there's so many things that people want, from trims, finishes, mounting differences, that we said, all right, we're just going to make the spectrum, these light engines that go inside, the technology, and we partner with people like Kurtzon to basically employ our spectrum technology into their fixtures. And so from a designer standpoint, there's all these reasons why they choose a specific fixture, whether it be cost reasons or relationships or all the things that they choose that for. So we partner with these guys and just try to let them go to market and employ the ability to have this heightened circadian solution in any kind of technology, any kind of lighting fixture.
When were you at NASA then? This was how many years
ago? So I started at 2005.
2005 and NASA.
No, I'm sorry, 2007.
And you guys were using LEDs for circadian rhythm in 2007?
So in 2009 we did the first like demo of circadian lighting was in 2009. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it using LEDs?
Yeah. Yeah. So we were doing this before. Everyone talks about it now, but we
this
did it.
BIOS or NASA? Because
this is NASA.
Not a lot of people get to say, yeah, when I used to work for NASA. It's like, okay, you're a smart guy, are you?
Yeah.
So you're working at NASA.
So I was working at NASA,
and you're developing this lighting for astronauts.
Yep.
Using LEDs.
Yep. And my role on that project, I was a subject matter expert for spectrum and LED technology to basically try to use LEDs to pinpoint spectrums to elicit these photobiological effects.
Is it or was it as simple as saying for this many hours it's going to be this Kelvin temperature and this output?
This many nanometers?
Yeah, I think at that time it wasn't really well known, and I think that they're still working on protocols and stuff and try to get the most efficiency out of it. But it is kind of the same premise. Bud Brainerd was the guy who was kind of the biological expert on that project. So he's been doing this for some time. And
Bud Brainerd
at Jefferson School of Neurology.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were working with him, Steve Lockley at Harvard, and a bunch of other smart people.
I got a question for you.
Yep.
So I know how to hurt people with lighting. Like if somebody said to me, I want you to like cause people to have migraines and I want you to, cause, I could do that. I know how to get some real flickering lights in there and do some other things. I mean, casinos had lighting reverse circadian figured out a long time ago. They know if you shine vertical, bright, high Kelvin temperature light in someone's eyes, they'll give you their paycheck.
Yep.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
It's kind of like a hypnotic trance that they put them in with the, the other effects, but also the lighting. So we know how to hurt people with lighting, right? Yep. I know how to do that.
Sure.
In the past, it's like, well, let's just not cause any harm with these lights. Are you saying that now, like soon or now, Greg and I, who sell lights to end users every day, are going to be able to stand in front of them and say, if you buy this solution, you will improve human health outcomes?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We already understand the pathways. Already said the whole premise is brighter days and darker nights. And it really is this one photoreceptor that mainly drives this response.
Sure.
So if you could pinpoint that photoreceptor and provide it during the daytime, you're going to get a lot of benefits out of it.
Is this universal to all humans or like people of different areas of the globe? Like, people, sort of the Nordics versus the Africans, they have different responses, or is it?
So that's a great question. So it's actually ubiquitous to all life. All, like, any living organism has this photoreceptor. Literally, like, you could get like phytoplankton in the ocean that'll change its
position. So this is the life gene
relative to
melanotic
sky blue signal. Yeah,
it's a life gene.
Yep.
So all life has this gene.
Yeah. So as you could imagine,
you're saying that every living thing has this.
Yeah. You look at little mice, they'll have it. You look at like single-celled organisms, they'll have.
So this is the life gene, the ability to receive light. Is the life gene.
If you think about it, everything needs to have an active phase. So, then you have to sleep and repair, right? And so it needs to know when all that stuff needs to happen. So this is really just driving that circadian response of when I need to be in my active phase and when I need to be in my repair phase.
So you guys are discovering the source of life.
Yeah. And I would say that all life did begin at the equator. So we've kind of nomadically migrated, but everything was very much the same. So we are all kind of the same, at least from an origin standpoint.
Interesting. So I mean, that's mind blowing. So then you've isolated this one receptor down. We have it in our eyes, and so I just need to pull out a quick flashlight, and you're good.
Well, it's
just fire that thing up a little bit, or what?
So if you do it like in the middle of the night, then it could kind of screw you up. But really, this photo. So the way that it works is it goes to a specific part of the brain. That part of the brain is kind of rolling on its own rhythm, right? And it's getting this light input to figure out when it needs to shift. So if you got light before you expected to see it, it's kind of shift to earlier, go, hey, daytime's coming in a little sooner than I thought it would. You get light at night, it's going to push you later, kind of be more of a night owl, wanting to go to bed later, wanting to not be ready to wake up when first thing in the morning type things. So this is how it changes. So the more you get in the daytime, so one little flashlight, it might be like a blip on the radar. It'd be like, I don't know what that was, but I'm going to just keep going my path. But you get a constant light going on, like daytime, what we're supposed to get. Then it starts seeing it going, all right, this is that daytime thing that I really need to start paying attention to. And the challenge is we spend so much time indoors, we have this kind of neither day nor night signal that's going on. So it leads to this constant drift. So we really just want to say, okay, we can't just shut off the lights at night and say we can't have light at night. And you can't just, have everyone go outside because that's impractical for a lot of people in a lot of different regions. So we're going to be inside. So how do you kind of change the spectrum to try to make it as bright of a day during the daytime hours and as dark of a night in those nighttime hours to delineate those two and make it so that our body is not confused?
It's almost like an augmented reality play.
Yep.
Like what you're doing.
Well, I mean, we're really just trying to take what's going on outside and bring it inside. Right. That's really what we're trying to do. We're not trying to augment it so that
but that's what. Okay, so it's a virtual reality. That's what it is, and it's not augmented. It's virtual.
Right. We're trying to bring out what's going on outside and bring that inside.
Right. So like, but so let's play devil and I'll be his advocate. Okay. Isn't that a sort of a manipulation in a way?
It would be a manipulation if you manipulated it. If you
Like,
were to basically,
do people have to sign off that you're allowed to do this to them?
I think that there is no harm in bringing benefits of being outside inside. I mean, if you have a window,
Yeah, but you know what? I've been told my whole life that I have to wear sunscreen and sunglasses because light's not good for me. And now you're telling me that's all wrong, son. You got this receptor in your eye. You got to get those sunglasses off and get that sunlight smashing into the back of that eye so that you get this circadian switch flicked a couple times so that you can feel alert.
Right.
And that.
So,
what is it?
So that the sunscreen and the sunglasses, that's a UV response. So that you don't want the UV. That has enough energy to damage your skin. And
but doesn't sunglasses prevent the circadian? Doesn't it exacerbate the circadian problem?
I mean, you get so much light outside, and basically what it's usually neutral, which means that it's not shifting the color too much, but it is blocking out the UV. So it's bringing the light levels down, 80%, but 80% of the 10,000 lux you get outside is pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
So so it's definitely better being outside, even if you have sunglasses.
So
on.
So you're saying you're not going to have the UV with the interior lighting?
Right. Yeah, we're not trying to bring in UV because that's not a good idea for interior materials. There's a lot of reasons for your eyes that we wouldn't want to do that. But there are these longer blue wavelengths that are important for us. So bringing the good, still leaving out the bad.
Sure.
All good for us.
Do it.
So
yeah.
You're kind of figuring out so you guys are not an LED chip manufacturer.
We do make a chip. So we custom grow a dye that produces this sky blue frequency that no one else makes. And then we basically created this biological optimized chip that combines with regular LEDs so that you could have the energy efficiency of regular LED, biological efficiency of our chip, and they kind of pair together. So during the daytime, you add it in. At nighttime, you pull it out.
Is it something that people see?
They don't see it very well. So
So how are you going to know it's working? Like I go and I sell them a bunch of BIOS enabled fixtures and they're like, well, looks like the same to me. Yeah, but there's a magic nanometer thing going on in there.
Yeah, you have to get a spectroradiometer to really kind of I mean, everyone has one of those handheld spectroradiometers nowadays. So it's not too hard. It's not like you have to go bring it into a lab to do it. Everyone's got these handheld guys that aren't too hard to do. But there's a little bit of a visual response. But what we try to do is try to make it and have all those benefits in color temperatures you're going to have in an office, like a 3,500 Kelvin or a 4,000 Kelvin. We spectrally optimize it to basically give you all the benefits you can in those commercially acceptable color temperatures.
But you pick a Kelvin, and
you can still do 35K or 4,000K or whatever you want.
Yeah. So you could so if you have 4,000, it's a little bit more potent. We have a little bit more ability to give you more of that sky blue signal than 3,500 Kelvin. But we're still giving it to you in the color temperatures that you want.
So somebody buys your lights. We put them in an office somewhere. It's got BIOS, and they're running them not during the day now. They're running them at night. Does the BIOS shut itself off? Or is it calibrated with the sun or something?
Right. So we did work with a control system so you could pull it out. Yeah, and you could automate those control systems all day long.
They have to be automated because you could actually hurt people if you're hitting them with this stuff at the wrong times.
It's possible. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a dilemma that goes in there, but it is very easy to automate.
So just coming into the office and turning on the lights, we know someone's got a program and that those nanometers don't kick in, and that's connected to the gyroscope whistle dog thing that prevents that from getting blasted.
It's more
whistle dog. Yeah.
It's more like the same stuff that's going on load shedding. Like at a certain time, you kind of kick the light levels
but you could actually hurt people with this.
I think that no matter what,
there's a lot of dumb lighting distributors.
So
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
what you're talking about is needs to be implemented by someone who knows what they're doing.
So the idea is that if you're in the office, it's your biological daytime, right? So if you stay late and you always stay late, that's kind of your schedule and your daytime schedule. So if you get a blast of light, just like the flashlight idea, it's not really going to change you if you get it one time. It's really kind of a consistent thing that it's trying to figure out. Remember, it's trying to figure out what day exactly. It's trying to entrain that clock, And so if you're just showing up to work, you know, and you have maybe a 9 to 5 schedule, you know,
so this
whatever.
is more like supplementation in a way.
Right. It's just trying to bring in that daytime signal on a very consistent basis. And if you
Mm.
stay late one day, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be hurting people. That's for sure.
Mm.
What we do know is that what we're doing today is really not the best that we could be doing. So if we say what's hurting, I think that it's probably, there's a lot of evidence that we're probably not doing the best thing right now.
So you've got the two sides. You've got the human side, and then you've got the agricultural side.
Mhm.
On the human side of it, you're partnering with people to put in their own fixtures.
Yep.
On agricultural, you decided to make your own fixture.
Right.
What is it about BIOS, this agricultural, that's different than what other people have?
It's the same thing. I mean, we're a biology first company, so we're looking at this from you know, what wavelengths are producing what physiological effects. We understand, you know, how to, you know, clone better than most other people. We know how to induce fruiting and flowering at certain times using different photo periods, and we know how to elicit these photomorphological effects. So we understand it at a different level than most people.
Sure.
I can't say that everyone's, you know, everyone's dumb and we're smart.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of smart people in this industry. So we do understand this at a pretty high level. Plants are nice because they're very simple. You put a light on them, they don't go anywhere, and you can see some
Sure.
dramatic effects by changing the spectrum around on them. So it is nice, and a lot of people really kind of have elevated their education and are pretty smart on what to do.
So we're seeing it as lighting distributors. I see, you know, I had an opportunity recently. Somebody asked me about, it was real simple. They're growing whatever it was, some soybeans or something inside, and they had 16 8-lamp T5 fluorescent fixtures currently.
Mhm.
I'm like, I get that. All right, I want to make it LED horticultural lighting. Okay. I went to 5 different companies. Nobody could give me a clear answer on what to do. This is within a couple of weeks. I still don't know what to do. Is there ever going to be a role for the distributor in this, or is this always going to be the fixture manufacturer going direct to the grow house?
And then what he's asking is this: it's like lighting is not illuminating the manufacturing process; it is the manufacturing process in this situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
So how do you guys go to market, and do you want, you know, lighting distributors in that space?
I think that we absolutely want the lighting distributors to be in that space. We want to educate you guys into knowing exactly what to do in that situation, because I'm only so many people. So we want to be able to help as many people as we possibly can. So being able to enable you guys to sell it certainly makes the most sense to me. I mean, it should make the most
Is
sense
it
to you guys.
complicated? Like, is it just no? You're growing leafy greens. You need fixture number TC12165.
Well, they gave me some number too of they wanted 700 something
Micromoles, yep.
micromoles maybe, yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to give them that. So if you guys know how to handle all that.
So all you need, it's just basically converting lux. So it's just a multiplier, like like remember S to P ratios or something like that. It's converting micromoles or lux to micromoles. You just add a multiplier to it. And so if you got a photometer and you're measuring, you know, 1,000 lux, you're going to have X number of micromoles. And that's all it should be. So it should be the exact same thing.
Sure.
The only thing that's a little bit weird for the conventional lighting distributor is it's way higher than what it's not going to be 1,000 lux. It's going to be like 10,000 lux. And you're like, really? Do we need this much light?
And the answer is yes.
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 Yeah. Right. Yep.
And it's the same thing. You know, there's a lot of light going on out there.
Yeah.
Those plants need that
for sure.
energy in order to grow.
Yeah, it's interesting that we haven't seen a lot of the companies like yourself that go after distributors. You know, we've talked to a number of them. We've been at a few shows, and
went to Hortican.
Yeah.
We were at Hortican.
Mhm.
And there's almost a contempt for distribution in that space, I would say.
And maybe rightfully so, because we don't know what we're doing. But you know,
but you should know what you're doing.
I think you're better positioned with the channel just in terms of ongoing support.
Mhm.
You know, local support.
Sure.
For someone that has parts and can answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we have a debate at our convention whether distributors should be involved in the horticultural space or not. We're having a debate on it. So, you know,
And what do you think?
Juan Carlos Blacker, he's going to be discussing it with us. What do I think? It makes me nervous as an owner of a small, you know, lighting distribution company. It's like, do I want to be talking about, like, do I have the skills and the training? I need more training personally for me. And then we have to set up I need to hire someone who's an expert on that, or not an expert,
Mm.
or is a distribution level subject matter expert when it comes to parts and lumen maintenance or something like that.
Right.
That matters to that. The 2 or 3 things, and then this is this our partner, and this is your contact there, and these are the parts you need to service this customer. So I just don't think that the manufacturers do see that.
And I think it's scary too in a way, because now we're on the hook for saying we're going to grow your plants this much better.
Right.
I don't know. I can get you to see what you're doing. I don't know if I can have that plant grow. It's a whole
Right.
different mindset. And
Yeah, but it's really just, I mean, it's just learning, why is it 200, 200 lux or 300 lux? Why are those the recommendations, and what's the importance? It's really just kind of saying, okay, this is what you need. And, having a simple chart that says, this is how much light you need, and this is how many hours you need it. And that's it.
Yeah, like berries are going to be growing in our lifetime. All of our berries are going to be growing very close to where they're sold.
Right. That's the key, is that you could start doing, inner city, like urban horticulture. That's the big key. We don't have to ship things across the country.
You're still going to grow corn in fields. Corn and soybeans will still be grown in fields,
right?
Because it just doesn't make, they're mass crops. But things like berries and things that are more expensive won't be shipped across the globe anymore.
Right.
But,
to your point, the growers should know that stuff. They should know that they need 700 micromoles per, on their canopy.
Sure.
You just need to know how to get that.
Okay.
It really shouldn't be on you to grow their berries. It should be on them to grow the berries. They just need to tell you how much light you need. And we just need to be able to take that number and convert it to lux, so that you could put it in an AGI and do whatever you need to do.
How old are you?
37.
Yeah, man, you're pretty badass for 37.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That's pretty cool, man.
Working for NASA.
Yeah. What did you study? Or did you?
LRC. I was Cal Poly engineer, electrical engineer, then the Lighting Research Center for a master's grad school.
Cool.
And then NASA recruited me from there.
Robert Solar.
Awesome.
Thanks for being a guest on the live stream, man.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, folks. What does it go back to at the end of the day here, Greg? One call does it all, man.
Always.
Go to BillBrownSales.com, the one call leader for all, I don't know, what is it the best way to describe it?
All lighting components, anything that you need for lighting fixture, they got it.
BillBrownSales.com. Thanks a bunch. You throw your website out there while we're at it. BIOS?
Yep, bioslighting.com.
There you go. Thanks, Robert Solar, for coming on the show, and thank you for listening. Check it out. Bye for now.